If you're not in it, you don't realize the amount of work that goes into these early childhood language centers and the double duty that people are having to bear, that they're custodians of their language and their culture, but they also have to comply with so many English language complicated rules and regulations. It's one thing to encourage people to vote, but it's another thing to address knowledge about the whole system, how it works. Find a small way that you can do it to show people how it's done.
Bring proof of concept.
People want to see proof. Kia ora and welcome to the final episode of PEP Talk for Season 1. How you doing? I'm Sui and Salā, Simon Young. How you doing, Salā?
Good, thank you. And yes, Merry Christmas. It's a couple of days away and we're really excited just to pop in and see how everyone's doing and just to wrap up for this year, 2025. It's gone so fast.
It sure has. It's been a massive year, Salā? What's been the highlight for you?
Well, I mean, we were meeting some amazing purpose-led clients, really rewarding, taking them from sharing their purpose, sharing their goals and aspirations to working alongside them to put them into strategies, goals and aspirations.
Yeah, absolutely. It has been so good to come alongside some amazing businesses. Some of them start up, some of them just at the early stages, some of them social enterprises like you heard from us a few episodes ago, a church that was wanting to extend itself and defray the expenses of its parishioners and serve the community. So that's been awesome, but there's so many more that we're looking forward to sharing with you in 2026 in Season 2 of PEP Talk.
That's right. Really just heroic, committed, against the odds, almost giving up, right through to clarity, to revive, inspiration from their own words. Hey, we were just really privileged to come alongside and work with them, work with our clients to just formulate and give clarity. And
clarity is a big thing that people came back to us. That's what we gave them, and that's real feedback is so wonderful, because it's like, oh, is this the thing that we're giving? Because we actually work across a bunch of different areas. But beyond just the work, the PEP work, how about what else has been big for you this year, Salā?
Oh, for myself, well, it's been quite eventful academically. Really appreciative of my University of Otago supervisors because I'm sort of towards the end of just bringing together some research on Samoan Indigenous governance and the early learning education sector. It's
really important, the work that you're doing, because if you're not in it, you don't realize the amount of work that goes into these early childhood language centers and the double duty that people are having to bear, that they're custodians of their language and their culture, but they also have to comply with so many English language complicated rules and regulations. And you're trying to bridge that gap. Would that be fair to say?
Yeah, absolutely. It's being able to actually really look at it in depth from the inside out, looking at what our early learning hubs are really are from an Indigenous lens, from our Samoan governance lens, the way that we know, the way that we be, and then looking at how does that sit within a Western system, which often isn't really designed for minority groups or Indigenous cultures.
Stuff.
Sort of, that's it in a nutshell.
That's been your year, and you are really putting the work in for that one. I just want to honour you for that commitment, even as you still perform your duties. So thank you. And we've had a birth in the family, metaphorically speaking, this year, which is our
PaCIVICa. We sort of started a conversation with Electoral Commission. Big shout out to Erin Temu for hosting us and having those conversations about civics, especially in the Pacific
and exposing
space.
us to the need, which was that it's one thing to encourage people to vote, but it's another thing to address knowledge about the whole system, how it works.
That's right. Yes. And so taking it from conversation probably a year or two, I would say, to just stop the talanoa, let's do something about it. So we then ran a pilot in May, June this year. So sometimes it's really, when you look back and doing these wrap-up sessions, it's incredible how much and how long and how fast these things have taken. So we did a pilot May and June, and we just put it out there to the community, and we had some incredible people respond. They then formed part of the cohort in the pilot stage. And then that was then a creation of the draft of a curriculum, which then sort of 6 months later, or just a couple of weeks then, fast forward to December 2025, we then turn it into a charitable trust.
Yes, kids, charitable trust is not easy to set up. It seems easy, but there's so many steps to it. But it's great when you get there, and we appreciate that there are safeguards in the system to stop people defrauding or anything like that. But there's a lot of hoops to jump through, and we did it in a very short time. We waited a long time, and then we oh my gosh, about the availability of certain funding, and there's nothing like a deadline to motivate you to kind of let's get this act together.
Yes, I really wouldn't recommend that you do it all in a short amount of time.
Couple of weeks,
a couple of weeks instead of a couple of months. But we got there, and really grateful, and amazing support from our cohort.
Yes,
I can say that pretty much 100% of all of them are either Pacific, they see the need, they want to give back, and so our cohort has now either become board members, or they're either in our advisory, which is absolute blessing.
Absolutely.
So yes, that's been one of our other exciting birth or concept that's just gone from a Talanoa. So really, that's why we really encourage that when you have an idea, bring it into something, do a pilot, or just test.
Find a small way that you can do it to show people how it's done.
Bring proof of concept.
People want to see proof.
Yes. Are people interested? What is the feedback? And it's been incredible to be part of some amazing purpose-led people.
And it really has been great because we teach people this stuff, but it's been great to then have the experience of the mahi and be able to say, here's what we experienced, not just here's what experts say or here's what best practices. And similarly on that line, personally, I joined a few boards because governance, we're just learning so much the importance of governance. And so I've become a board member of the New Zealand Society of Genealogists, a major nationwide charity, and also our local church, Oratia Church, on the micro end of things, but still actually a pretty well-established organisation. And also an unusual kind of organisation. It's the New Zealand Mirror Committee for the International Standards Organisation Subcommittee of Setting Standards Around Artificial Intelligence, because you can't go anywhere without hearing about AI and how AI is disrupting workplace or intellectual property or absolutely anything. So if you want to learn about something, join a committee that's trying to set standards, then you'll have a very quick learning curve. That's been really exciting. Also, so personally for me, academically, I graduated my Master of Technological Futures this year, and I turned 50. I recommend it. If you can turn 50, do it. It's great. But also as part of my kind of extended celebrations, explored a bit of my own cultural heritage and identity. And we often talk about the identity, and we talk about colonization and stuff. And for descendants of colonizers, sometimes we don't even feel like we have our own culture because it's we're soaking in it. So it was really good to go to Scotland and meet some of my clan, very distant relatives, but people with the surname Young, and we have a tartan, we have a crest, and all this kind of stuff. And so got to experience a little bit more of that over the holidays at the Waipu Highland Games. But it's really interesting thinking about things like collectivity and connectivity. When you're part of something and you feel connected, I think that's something that Indigenous cultures teach us the value of, and I think it's what our modern society has taken out. And anyway, we can be here for ages if we want to talk about that.
That's a whole nother topic.
But we just want to say thank you, because we know there's a lot of you who watch and don't necessarily comment or anything like that, but we thank you for watching. Thank you for your likes. Thank you for your subscribing. Whether you're watching us on YouTube or listening to us on Spotify or Apple Podcasts or wherever it may be, we really appreciate you, and we pray, that you have a great Christmas. You have a chance to relax, refresh, think about a new year. We hope that we all can create some positivity in a world that is really increasingly bananas and divided and all that kind of stuff. There's a lot more that we all have in common that separates us, and so we're just really blessed to be doing what we do, and we're really looking forward to highlighting and celebrating the stories of amazing purpose empowered people in 2026. What's your Christmas wish for our viewers, Salā?
I think just like what you said, just to have a wonderful time with your loved ones and your family. Every day is a gift, and it enables us to be present. I know it probably sounds quite cliche, but really appreciating life and being able to use our gifts, whether it's spiritual gifts or our spirituality and our Christian faith. But wherever you sit on that spectrum of spirituality, faith, and being able to really live it in how we live out our purpose and being able to actually encourage others. So we want to say thank you so much for being part of our 2025 journey. It's been a good year for us to revamp and try and be consistent as we can for this year, and we're really looking forward to as you say, highlighting more of our purpose-led people and just their amazing hearts, their wonderful commitment to their purpose and their dreams and aspirations, and into their community. So that's why we wanted to just say a huge thank you, a huge Merry Christmas, and a huge peaceful, positive, good health, prosperity, but also that we get to embrace and celebrate all those that are part of our PEP Inga and family. So a huge thank you to our subscribers. If you haven't already, please do, and if there's anything that you'd like us to share that aligns with what it is that we do, feel free to also reach out. So that's what I wanted to just add to what you said.
Thank you so much, Salā. Thank you. I really appreciate that. And this brings to the end season 1 of PEP Talk, starting right back in 2021 with Professor Georgie Ravulo and Lama Tone, Associate Professor Lama Tone, and continuing this year and last year with Tiare Rose, Cosmetics, Kevin Fuavau from Manu Golf, the late Karen Daniels. We didn't know when we interviewed her about this time last year that she only had a few months to live. But man, did she live that life, and so inspiring. If you get a chance, go back and watch our interview with Karen Daniels. She was delivering the message of her life. Wow. And then we've also been able to highlight and celebrate our local heroes, our local body politicians who are Pacific, who put their culture into what they do. And there's been a lot of interesting things that we've covered this year.
We're really privileged, and we really do. We are privileged in our academic aspect of things, that we get to sort of take some of our work into that area, into our studies, and also learning about what the body of work that our other Pacific and Indigenous researchers are also doing out there. So it is an ecosystem of all of us in its summation. It's not just one person in isolation working.
Definitely.
It's really the community, the collective, and being able to really amplify the strengths and what we do have in common, which is what you said before.
That's another thing, is we want to acknowledge the Lemoana West Collective, which we've been privileged to be part of this year, and has actually enabled so much of the work. And sometimes when you're in business, it can be very isolating. When you're running your own thing, you don't have the radar on for what things are going on that you might if you're working in an organization. So we're very blessed to be working with Lemoana West Collective. It's not a hierarchical thing, it's literally a collective, and so it's a bunch of different organizations working through our community, we've been bringing a slightly different flavour in our business background and innovation background. But yeah, really great to be super local, because that's often where systemic change can happen at a very local level. So yeah, we just want to acknowledge our partners in Le Moana Collective, and also the area that we live, West Auckland, Tamaki Makaurau, and the mana whenua here, Te Kawerau Maki. So I was privileged to be part of a group of Le Moana West Collective people who went to have an orientation session at the Arataki Visitor Centre and learn more about our mana whenua and their history and their whakapapa, which I love to learn. So yeah, we're very blessed to be in the context that we're in, and part of our direction for 2026. If you're watching this and you're literally in Timbuktu, if you're in another part of the world, that's awesome. We would love to work with you, because we are from Aotearoa, we're from Pacific, but we are for the whole world. And yeah, we're just looking forward to bringing the treasures of this place and the experiences that we've had, and especially the wonderful things that you're learning, to the benefit of people around the world. Yeah. That's probably us now, eh?
Yeah, that's it.
Have a wonderful time with your family and loved ones, and we will look forward to seeing you for season 2 starting in February 2026.
Until then, have an amazing Christmas with your loved ones, and this is the PEP team, and much alofa and love to you all, and have a wonderful start to your new year.
Ka kite anō.
Pacific.